It's unexplainable. It's unconditional. It's unforgettable. Unstoppable. Unpredictable. It's so invitable. Indescribable. Hello, hello, and hello.
Hey,
How
hey,
are you all doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome to his
and her perspective.
perspective.
Man, I missed that time. Man,
That's all right. You would do one. You would do one. It's okay.
what you doing today, sis?
Here at his and her perspective, we find common ground to harmonize relationships. So we are here today because we're going to talk about something that's really hot, man. I am really excited about today's topic. I have been preparing for this and I'm really excited. What about you, Vaun?
Me too. Me too. Been looking forward to this one all week. So,
Yes. Tell
yeah.
the people what we're talking about.
Today we're talking about the dangers of unrealistic expectations in the relationship.
He's frozen. We're having some technical difficulties. Y'all pray for
Yeah.
us right now.
Were you able to hear me?
We are talking about the dangers of unrealistic expectations in your relationship. Is your relationship in danger? As we are, you back?
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you and see you now.
All right, cool, cool. I don't know what
Right.
it is, but
Yeah. So I picked up where I'm your partner in crime. Picked up where where they couldn't
yeah,
hear you.
they
So
trying today.
that's okay. That's okay. We not gonna let it beat us.
Yeah,
They must not know who we are. It's
that's all
okay.
it is.
Absolutely. So today we're going to talk about some really good stuff, and I'm really excited. But before we move forward, make sure that you are sharing, subscribing, and saying something. Do not let us just sit here and talk at you. Talk to us, engage with us. And as a matter of fact, if you're looking at us right now, go ahead and click the share button. And then just go ahead over to the next part of that. Scroll down a little bit when you share and create a watch party. Start a watch party so that you can invite your friends along so that we can have a good old time in having this conversation.
Right, right. That's what
So
it's all about.
listen, you say the weather here is not the best today. Yeah, see, we're not gonna let it happen. Hello, hey Desi, how you doing? He's frozen. You froze again?
Yeah, can you see me?
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
that's okay. We gonna work this thing on out.
Yeah, as long as you can as long as you can still hear me, then I can still contribute. Is that can you hear me?
I can hear you now. When
Okay.
you're frozen, we can't hear you or see. You just froze.
I don't know what that's about. Other than, well, like my wife said, the weather here is a
The
little
weather.
yeah,
Yeah.
but we're
And
gonna
that's what happened with me. That happened with me on a call last week with the storms and stuff. So
that's all right.
it's to be expected. That's okay. That's all
Let's get
right.
on with it. Let's get on with it.
All right. So listen, what's in your cup? You over there drinking on that? I'm still hating on your cup, right?
Uh, today the Love Alchemist is drinking his favorite yerba mate. You know how I do. I don't switch it up a whole lot. This is my drink of choice.
I got a piece of hair moving out. I'm having okay. Well, I'm drinking something special.
All right, what we working with over there?
I'm drinking some peach iced tea, and I made me special, and I put it in a wine glass. Oh, he frozen. He came and said something smart.
Look,
Anyway, y'all, I'm not drinking. I'm drinking peach iced tea, non-alcoholic. It's really yummy too.
can you see me? Can you hear me?
And my partner can't even say nothing. See?
Let me see if I can switch it up.
Can you see what I'm drinking? Is he frozen again? Y'all pray for us. We gonna get through this today. So I'm drinking sweet tea in the wine glass. Can you see me now?
Yep. Can you see me and hear me?
We can see you and hear you.
All right, let's get it.
All right. So listen, let's move on in because we gonna get this in. We're not gonna let this beat us. So look, today we talking about the unrealistic expectations in relationships, and I want to start out with the unrealistic expectations that women may have. We're gonna tag team on this today, and I want to hear what kind of things do you think? Let's see what some people commenting already. Okay,
Yeah,
yes, I can hear you. You are not frozen on my end. Pour it out. Let's go. All right. Come on. People like, let's go.
Now, look, before you go,
So,
can you hear me?
what are some of the unrealistic expectations women have, Vaun?
Well, you know, I'm gonna share my. Can you guys hear me?
Listen, y'all.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I really want to hear some of the audience's um, ideas about what they think are unrealistic expectations. But I'll get started, and I'll say that a lot of women have this almost like this genie in a bottle kind of idea about what a man is supposed to be. And we create, well, these images have been created for us through media. So, you know, women want a guy who's, you know, tall, dark, and handsome. We've been hearing that forever, right? But statistically, only about 3% of the men on the entire planet are 6'2" and over. And that ain't talking about black men. That's 3% globally are 6'2" and over. Now that's talking about that's before you start reducing it down to what your preference is. So let's just say you like black men. Okay, you're gonna knock it down quite a bit, and then let's knock it down from the men who are available to you, right? And that's gonna knock it down another notch, and then the ones who might even want you, right? Just beside the fact that you want them,
I think he's frozen again.
Ones that actually want you.
Can you all hear him? Can you all let us know if you can hear?
Yeah, I think it might be on your end, sis.
It's just freezing. I mean,
everybody over here is saying that they can hear me and see me pretty good.
Really? Because I can't. Let me. I don't understand because everything else is scrolling.
Well, let's just keep it moving. If they say they can hear me and they can hear you, let's keep it moving.
Let's keep going.
Yeah. So I was just saying one of the unrealistic expectations that I think women have are this model idea of what their ideal man looks like. They want him to have kind of like a what's the guy off Insecure, Issa Rae's boyfriend? What was his name? The one that she ended up breaking up with at the end.
I'm so bad with names, man.
Man, I forget his name, but his name was Lawrence. So they want him to have they want their ideal man to have the success of a guy like Lawrence, but the swag of a guy like 50 Cent, or in other words, like Tupac with a PhD. You know, and these guys really don't exist, and even the ones that do exist, where you're talking about 6 foot tall, 6'1", 2 or whatever, and he's making a lot of money, he's in the 6-figure club. You really are still talking about the 1%. And so I think oftentimes our expectations of what we think is available to us is unrealistic.
Okay. Well, you know, this is the thing. I think that it really depends. I'm in the process. I'm trying to make sure everything on this end because I could not hear.
James Gifford says he can see and hear both of us.
Okay.
So let's just keep it rocking. We good.
Right. Okay. So listen, you want to keep going, or you want me to tap in?
Go ahead. You can jump in there.
Yeah. You sure?
Yeah. You just go. Once you go, you ain't stopping, huh?
Hold on. Y'all ready for mine? Y'all want to see my unrealistic expectations scroll?
My God.
But you know what? I did that because, you know, it's nothing on here which is really the example of what I really believe expectations really do. Because I don't really believe in them, right? Okay. But I'm going to tell you some that men have. Because men do, right? They have them. And some of the things that I have heard my clients say over and over again is that men want to lock the woman down, but he don't want to make the relationship official. So you want her to act like wifey, but you ain't put a ring on it.
Yeah. That's real. We want our cake and eat it too, I guess.
Yeah, you can't be doing that. You know, you want the benefits of what wifey does, then wife her up.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know that sometimes that gets compounded by the idea that so many women are often wife benefits without getting the title.
That's true.
So
I'm frozen.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. It looks like you are frozen. I wasn't gonna say nothing because I thought that they can still. Yeah. Adele says you're frozen. All coaches having connectivity issues.
But I can hear you fine. You're
Can you
in
guys?
and out.
Can you
Everything
guys?
is scrolling. Nothing's stopping the. I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's the weather is beautiful here.
Can y'all still hear her?
So
If y'all can still hear her, we can keep it rocking.
yeah. So what do you think about that? Anybody else? They say I'm frozen with the paper in front of my
Yeah.
face.
Yeah. You were. You were. It's gone now though.
Yeah. I must
Derek said. Derek said you must have.
have Derek, get up. Look, Derek say, where is it? I can't even. Where is it? They popping in and out. I can't even get them now. He said I must have Sprint or T-Mobile,
Right.
whatever,
Right.
whatever. I don't. Not on my computer. So listen, y'all tell us too some of the expectations that you think men and women have, and we're gonna talk about some of those things because I have a whole list.
Let me drop another one in.
This, huh?
Let me drop another one in.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And this is, this goes to the, some of what makes women attractive to men has been confused by all of this information that's out here. And so a lot of women feel that, their ability to be self-sufficient and I can take care of myself and I can, I don't, not necessarily that they don't need a man. Well, I'll even say that they don't need a man. They just want a man, And so I think that oftentimes you hear a woman say, well, look, I got my own house. I got a college. I got a master's degree or I have a doctorate degree. And they think oftentimes that these things make them appeal to men. But generally speaking, especially masculine men, we don't care about that. We really, so the expectation is that these women think that having these different things these different attributes, these degrees and the money that they make and the house already and the nice car, these are things that men use to lure women. But it doesn't work in reverse because typically, unless a man is trying to use you for something, unless he's not able to be self-sufficient, right? But a man that's really able to stand on his own, he's not attracted by that kind of stuff. We don't care about that.
Don't care about the things.
No, we don't really. What they use this term alpha male, right? So I'm going to use that for lack of a better term. What alpha males typically care about are, first of all, do you look nice? We do care. We are, men are visually stimulated. So you need to look nice. You need to make us feel good. It needs to feel good to be around you. Are you able to, in some cases, maybe put that battery in our back? Do we feel charged up? Do we feel good being around you? Your material possessions, though, those tangible things to an alpha male, we don't care nothing about that.
Right. And that's because it's not important. You want the feel good part of it. And so then that goes into the things that a lot of women think that men don't have is that emotional part. They think that the men lack the emotion. But that's really what that is. That's the emotional part of a man wanting that companionship and wanting that woman really there for him, having his back.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So that's good. I like that one. So, all right. So what about when the men they're attracted to the women that boss up, but then they don't like aggressive women?
It's a double-edged sword, really, because I think, first of all, boss chicks, if you want to call them that, these are really like alpha females, right? She can't date regular dudes.
Yes, Idell, I have better expectations than T-Mobile has. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think boss chicks make a mistake thinking that they can date regular guys because she is so driven that a regular guy who's not as driven and not as on his purpose and motivated to do well, entrepreneurship, whatever the endeavor might be, that he'll often feel like she's competing with him. So she needs another alpha male or somebody who's highly driven to complement that energy, that drive that she has. Regular dudes won't cut it.
Right. You're right. So it's difficult. And I'm sorry, I cut you off early. I'm listening to us in here so I can keep up. And
That's
I'm
cool.
seeing that I cut you off because I couldn't hear you. So
That's good.
that's the challenge that I'm having. And I don't have, okay. So, well, that's good because that's true. That if she wants that type of dude that's going to be able to handle her being the boss, or not being the boss, but being a boss, I should say, then she's got to have a different type of dude.
Yeah.
So give us another one.
I,
So James, let's read this.
James Gifford, he
Yeah,
says, go ahead.
you go ahead because they can hear you. Apparently, I'm freezing.
Okay, he says it's okay to have certain expectations, but that does not mean that they will meet those expectations coming into the relationship. Some things have to be built. Wait a minute. It says coming into the relationship, some things have to be built over time. I
Yeah,
agree.
I
Yeah,
agree too. I agree.
yeah,
As a matter of fact, so let me. Okay, this earlier I said I don't believe in expectations, and let me tell you why. I personally, this is just IMO, as they say. I personally believe that expectations and standards are they people use them interchangeably. So people think about the standards that they have and they place those standards and make them expectations. But what I personally believe is that expectations are for you because that's something that you have control over because expectations is really a control thing. You're trying to make them do something that you want them to do, and if they don't do it, then automatically you're gonna get mad. So they've gone from expectations to you better do this.
yeah.
But the standards are the things that you really want to happen. And when they're happening, it's either a make or break, and you are showing this person that this is what you're looking for. But standards give you I have a mentor. He taught me some years ago. He said you have to stop expecting other people to do things the way you want them to do them because it takes your power away. And when you put expectations on them, you're giving them power and you're expecting them to take that power on. But when you take that expectations and put the expectations on yourself and just uphold standards, then it keeps you from giving up your power.
Hmm. Yeah, that's heavy. That's heavy. I I don't know that it's even possible to not have some expectations once you go into an intimate relationship. I think there, even though we do have our standards, and I think you and I might disagree slightly on this, and maybe it's just semantics. I don't know, but I think that like there are some things that I don't know. I'm just gonna keep it 100. I expect that my wife is gonna do, and there are things that she expects that I'm gonna do. But I think maybe that over time, because we've developed that type of rapport, that I don't know, maybe that's what it is. But I read a quote that said expectation is the mother of disappointment. So I think yeah, oftentimes that's where most of the disappointment lies in the fact that we have these expectations. But well, there was another quote about what to say that when they get into a relationship, that men hope women won't change, while women hope men do change, or
Wow.
something like that.
Wow.
Did I say that right? That men hopes that she'll never change, while she's hoping that he does change.
We change. He will. Wow.
And that kind of goes into expectations a little bit too. But I always tell women, I have a client right now, and she was saying, well, she's looking at these different ways that she thinks he might be able to improve, and she's kind of looking at him like a fixer upper. But the reality is, if you can't be content with that man where he is today, then you're shooting yourself in the foot, really. Because
Right.
if he does change over time for the better, hopefully, then you just count that as a bonus. But going into it expecting or hoping that he'll change, it don't always work out in your favor.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm still catching up because I'm hearing you and I couldn't hear anything you were saying. So
Don't
um
worry about it. Don't worry about it. Let's see if we can.
so I don't know what's happening over here. But listen, so what else you got over there? Because I got plenty.
Go ahead. You can take a turn. I've
All
gone.
right, so let's see. All right, so let's go into some that would be dating parts. Okay, so men want women to show interest, but when they do, they think she's being clingy.
Mm, okay. You want my comments on that or what?
Yeah, what you got to say? That's what we here talking.
I think there's a fine line, because and this just kind of goes back to the idea of being equally yoked, you know,
Right.
and so one person's too much is another person's not enough. So, that's where healthy communication comes into play. That's where, just making sure we have the same ideas about what it means to be, intimate and close and all of this other stuff. So, yeah, I think there's room for that. Am I freezing up over there still? You can't hear me?
Yeah, I'm having a hard time over here, y'all.
Don't worry about it, man. Can you maybe you can did you turn your computer screen down?
What do you mean, turn it down?
Are you trying to listen to me from your phone or what?
I'm listening to you from my phone.
Uh,
And so, yeah, but it's not on the Wi-Fi. I'm only on my computer with the Wi-Fi. There's nothing else.
so it's gonna be a little delayed.
Yeah. And so, yeah.
Don't get caught up on that. Let's just get through it the best way we
I'm
can.
just trying to catch up. So I'll be sitting here looking, smiling, looking cute. These are be cute.
You hey, just don't get caught with that paper in front of your face.
I know, right?
Yeah.
James
James,
says, you're right, Coach Michelamonè. Some expectations can be so high and sometimes forced, it becomes controlling. Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely, James. Very true.
I have one that might, I don't know, this one might sting a little bit. And I don't mean it to be hurtful or anything like that, but I think just going back to the idea that men are very visual, and there are women out here who expect that a man will love you regardless, and we can make a decision to love you regardless, but I want women to really understand that. Let me say it this way. So there are women out here who are available, and even an average looking woman in the face can compete with an exceptionally pretty woman in the face as long as her body is better. I hope that makes sense. So in other words, men are attracted to not only the face but the body. So that really is an emphasis that places the emphasis on women doing their best to, try to be healthy, try to be in shape, because, you know, we've come to a place in society where, everybody wins. They're giving out eighth place trophies, and so you're getting people like Lizzo that get on stage and or out in the audience, and she's twerking and she's,
Mm.
however ways, but clearly she's not, in the physically what we would normally think of as physically appealing, but they're giving her a pass almost and promoting her as if somehow that's the new attractive, right?
Mm.
And it just men aren't wired that way, ladies.
Yeah.
And I think you need to understand that, you do yourself first and foremost a favor because you're healthier, but you also do the relationship a favor because you help cultivate an ongoing attraction between you and your mate, because we like to see our women looking good.
You're right. And that's very true. James says, amen, brother. The thing is that one of the two, I have two and one on these expectations. The men don't want her to be the salad girl. He wanted to have a meal, but then he wanted to have a banging body. Two, he expects her to work, take care of the kids, take care of the house, cook dinner for him, and then be ready for womanly duties at nighttime. And all of these things are happening. And many men are not helping their spouses or their wives or their girlfriends, whoever they live with, do these things. So all of these things are on her. And then when she's tired because she can't go to the gym, or she's tired because she can't do things to enhance what she looks like, then he's looking at her like, what you doing? Like, and she's like, well, just because I didn't go out there and lift 300 pounds today, that doesn't mean that my work wasn't heavy.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. That's definitely one that men tend to have, and I know that, I was guilty, and my wife made it look easy. because she didn't complain. And it took me till the later years to just kind of, even seeing my daughters in action and how much it takes out of them to rear two children. And she did it with four children.
Right.
And it just always made it look so easy. I mean, everything was always clean, and they were always, she really didn't demand much of me as far as the help goes, the input goes. But man, if I could do it over again, I would definitely be more helpful. So just
Yeah,
that part, yeah,
because we women make things look easy because we just are used to being multitaskers. We're used to doing a lot of different things that we just do. And so, yeah, absolutely, it looks easy.
Kichi says, that's my scenario, but my husband is amazingly supportive. That's on my page.
Okay. Yeah, and that's good when you got the support. You really
Yeah,
need that. It
it
really
is. It's,
is
it's,
good.
it's teamwork. It's
Yeah.
teamwork.
So, um, how about this? Men want an independent woman. This my saying, all while confirming your masculinity by needing you.
Mm, wow. Well, I tell you right now, I don't want no independent woman. I and maybe some men do, I don't know, but I can get what you're saying though, because it's again, it's this fantasy. I think we watch too much TV, people in general, and the same way that women think that they're gonna hold out for this guy who's 6'2", makes $250,000 a year, he's tall, dark, and handsome, and oh, by the way, he wants her. You know, so like a lot of times we're not asking ourselves, what is it that we
I know
think?
I'm laughing all at the wrong time because
No,
I'm
no,
listening
no,
to
no, you good.
I'm listening to it's delayed in my ear.
No, you good. You good. I think we don't ask ourselves, yeah, we might carve out for ourselves this picture of what we think is the ideal mate. But I wonder how many of us ask ourselves, okay, once we've carved this image out, what do I bring to the table that would make them want me? Yeah. I see you frozen, or I'm frozen, or it's kind of delayed a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. You all right.
Oh my goodness.
I just keep it moving. Kichi said, oh, Kisi, I'm sorry. Her name is Kisi.
PC.
Yeah. And Kisi says, independent women are overrated.
Very much so. That whole yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That the 80s really messed us up with that
Yeah.
talk. That whole independent woman and I don't need no man. Get up out of here with that because we do need men.
And I tell you what, nothing
It
will.
doesn't. This is the thing. Like I read this article and it was talking about women who don't need men, and they named all these things they could do, but then there were still things in that list that they needed men to do or they wanted men to do. So either you're gonna have a list with them all the way out and say you don't need them because you can do all of these other things by yourself. Don't say, well, I don't need a man, but maybe for this part. No, either you need them or you don't.
Right. Right. Right.
So yeah.
Kisi, Kisi says, we wear too many hats and never make time for a man that can be good for us. Hmm.
Come on now. That's a tea drink too, right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So you ready to do we at the half an hour mark?
yeah. We're right at the half. We're right at the half. So, we're going to take a quick pause for a word for our sponsors. We'll be back in about 30 seconds.
All right. So y'all just bear with us with this. It's unexplainable. It's unconditional. It's unforgettable. Unstoppable. It's so unbreakable. Indescribable.
right.
All right. All right.
Why don't you tell them a little bit about Melanated Match, sis?
Okay. So, Melanated Match is one of the newest, hottest online dating site created by Black people for Black people. Because I'm gonna let y'all know some things, and maybe y'all know, maybe you don't know. We got these other sites out here. I'm not bashing those sites because Melanated Match, they're doing their thing and they're sponsoring us and everything, and we're coaches actually working with them. But Black people meet, and some of the other places that Black people go to is not created by Black people. So we are aware of what Black love is. We know what that takes. We know what that means. So we know that they are doing exactly what this is. So when they started talking about what they are doing, we automatically knew that we needed to be a part, right? So melanatedmatch.com, y'all need to check them out. I heard that they're having some technical difficulties because of this whole, things are happening in the air. So if you go there, make sure they'll be back up if they're down still. So what you got to say about it?
No, I love it. I love it. First of all, it's good to have our first sponsor, first and foremost. And well, I won't even say first. I think even bigger than that, it's good to have somebody with the best interests of Black people at heart, doing something like this, putting something like this together, because, let's face it, other people have profited off of us for a long time, not without necessarily having our best interests at heart. So for something like that to come to the front, and also while having the best interests of us at the same time, I think it's a good thing. So I'm excited about it.
Absolutely.
Yep. So Kesey says, I ran from so many amazing men for years because of my independence. I need to be a coach on there. Wow.
What happened? I missed that.
She says she ran from so many amazing men for years because of her independence.
Wow. That is good. Wow.
Yeah.
Derek Jackson says, I have a name for women who don't need men. They're called lesbians. and Desi says, we absolutely need men. We sure do, honey.
Yeah.
Everybody out here talking about they don't need. Listen, I ain't her. I need men.
Yeah.
So, but that's, man, to be able to even relate and say that, because some people are so egotistical within themselves, they won't even say it, and that's what the problem is.
Yeah, and we need each other, really.
We do. We really do. So let's see. I had a couple more. Men want a woman to keep him on his toes, but not be too complicated.
Now that's, what I think. If you're real sharp, as a real sharp brother, then you probably need less input, I guess, maybe from your woman, so she don't have to do so much to keep you on your toes. But if you are a little bit more normal, average, like myself, I appreciate that input, that pushback, but it's not so much what you say, is how you say it.
Yes.
So, there are ways that my wife can pull my coattail and be like, hey, did you think about this, or what you think about that, or whatever, and bring things to my attention that I hadn't thought about. And ultimately the effort is to make me better, to make us better. So I'm cool with that.
And see, that's a wise woman, because they say that the word says a wise woman builds her house up, but a foolish woman tears it down, and usually with her mouth. Yep. So you have to be very wise in knowing how to say things and be strategic in saying things, because it's kind of like, if people looked at how they were treating their partners or their relationship, how they treat their business or their careers, they would really do better, because we'll go to work and give better customer service. We'll go to our business and treat our clients better. But then our house, we come home and we got bad customer service, we got bad attitudes, we got bad everything, but we treat other people outside of the house easier.
Yep. We spend all of that extra energy, suppressing our truest feelings about, how we feel about coworkers and even our boss. So we can hold our tongue and be kind to our boss, even when they're disrespecting us at work. But then we come home and whatever is remaining, whatever energy we have left, we've expended the best parts of us at work all day, and then we give the family what's left of us.
Yeah. Yeah. Bad business, bad
Yeah,
personal business, right? James says, my wife is an independent thinker, not independent of me. But what I mean is she has vision. She takes initiative. She knows what she wants, and she is a go-getter. And I find that very attractive in any woman.
absolutely.
Absolutely. I
Now,
love
like, is he talking about my wife or his wife?
that.
I like that,
Oh,
man.
goodness.
Definitely. I co-sign that. Yep. Did you have I had an interesting statistic. Because we have this idea now that marriage is not the way to go. Healthy relationships, monogamy, one-on-one, that's not the way to go. And they're always highlighting these high profile divorces. The newest one is Tracy Morgan is going through it right now. Tracy Morgan.
Really?
Yeah, and they're splitting now after 20 years, I think it is, and she's asking for a crazy amount of money. And she, who knows, maybe she'll get it. But the point that I'm making is, if statistically, most millionaires don't get divorced. In other words, the more money a man makes, the less likely he is to get divorced. And so it's ironic that they're always putting these images of these high profile divorces in our face, as if, if the statistics bear out that the more money you make, the less likely you are to get divorced. Why are they always showing us these high profile divorces? And then the other side to that is that married people make more money, they're healthier, and they live longer, and they're happier overall than single people. So again, we know that there are couples who get divorced. We know the divorce rate is higher than it should be, but in reality, overall, married people are, especially millionaires. First of all, you're more likely to hit that high earning status, particularly millionaire, and you're more likely to stay married if you make that kind of money.
Yeah.
But they have us afraid of losing the little money that we have.
Right. Because they make these numbers higher. I'm reading this book called If I'm So Wonderful, Why Am I Single? Right. Mm-hmm. And she's talking about these statistics and how they have been ballooned, for lack of better terms. They've just been, made, because she started breaking them down, and how people are talking about how there's no good men out here, there's no men out here, and she started breaking them down. And she's like, well, what about when you take away the men that are gay, you take away the men that have that are in ministry, and they have, like the monks and stuff. You take away all these different levels of men, or these different levels of women that don't want to be married and things of that sort, then you still got an equal amount of people who want to be coupled up. Or you still have a nice amount of people who are actually still married. Or you have a nice amount of people who are still married and still have money. But they highlight these negative, like you said, numbers in order for us to be walking around on eggshells going, no, I'm good, I don't want that. Oh, I'll stay single, or, all of these things. And even things like the negative things that we get, and y'all, I love the Lord, honey. I'm a minister, but the church has really made people afraid to engage in the process of finding a mate. Oh, like, we have, and I'm about to step on some toes. I'm about to let y'all know that right now. Women say, oh, I'm waiting to be found. What you just doing, sitting in your house? Because that's not going to work. You have to engage in that process. You can't just sit back and just wait to be found. You have to be foundable. And I just made the word up, right? you gotta be working towards it. Like Brother Vaun said earlier, if you're not getting that body together, you taking yourself off the findable list. Your GPS just got shot, right? So you have to make sure that your GPS is in position to be found. And if you're not, then you need to do some things. But that doesn't mean that you just sit back. You don't engage, especially like right now, we can't do much. So you're gonna have to be on melanatedmatch.com, right? To
Right,
engage.
right,
But
right.
yeah, so I'm sorry, I'm get off my little soapbox.
No, you good, you good. Another one too is that another unrealistic expectation that women have, too many women, not all, of course, but
Mm-hmm.
some women assume that just because they had sex, that now we're in some sort of one-on-one monogamous committed relationship. And there was a post in my Facebook group. Shout out to the Black Love and Marriage Society. If you're married or in a relationship, you should be in our relationship group, the Black Love and Marriage Society. Boot up right here on Facebook. But anyway, there was a post in the group earlier, and the woman was uh, upset with the guy because at the beginning of the relationship, he said, "Hey, I just got out of a bad relationship. I'm not really looking for anything serious." But I don't know if that went right past her, over her head, or what. But she's washing his clothes, she's cooking and cleaning, and 6 months into the relationship, she's like, "Hey, what are we? I need you to define this." In other words, she expected that they were further along or more than just friends. And he was like, "No, I told you at the beginning that this is what it is. And as far as I'm concerned, we're friends." So you can see that they were headed toward a nasty breakup because she assumed, right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of women make that mistake. So I think the answer to that is get clarity on what his intentions are. And even men, get clarity on what her intentions are, because it happens to men too.
Yeah.
And just kind of state what it is that you expect from the relationship, and that way you can kind of avoid a lot of these difficulties.
Yeah. And you can't use sex as a key to the relationship. It that see we had this conversation. We talked about, let's talk about sex. Sex should not be the entering in. It should be the byproduct of. And if it's not the byproduct of, and you're using it as an entering in, then so many lines get blurred in that, and you're
Right.
trying to figure out what's really happening, and sex is leading it. You can't let that happen. You should be, if sex is leading your relationship, then you're not gonna get what you want.
Yeah.
Because if he's sexing you, then that goes to mine, who said that which one was it about the dang about wanting the wifey material, but he's still getting the friends with benefits,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah. That's right. I think sometimes yeah, well, hold on. Before I go any further, let me read this comment by Kisi. She says, "I've heard friends and coworkers call their spouses out of their names. I have never disrespected my husband and never called him anything other than baby, amazing, love, my lover, and my Boaz." That's what's up.
that is what's up.
Yeah.
That
That's a whole show in and of itself. We did kind of touch on, the like you just said, that a foolish woman tears her house down with her tongue, and she's just reemphasized the importance of of what it means to speak kindly and lovingly to your mate. I see you lost me again.
I did. I heard you on what it is to speak
Don't
kindly
worry
to
about it.
your
They heard me. They heard me. Don't even worry about it.
right. I'm just gonna sit here and be cute, y'all. I told y'all.
Dan Gifford says, I guess he was responding to me when I said it sounded like he was talking about my wife. He said both of them, brother.
Right.
And Idell says, yes, his intentions. That's definitely an expectation that's many times unrealistic. We expect the man to come and tell us what his expectations and intentions are right up front. Hmm. Now, that would be nice. That would be the noble thing to do. But if you don't have the discussion, then you can't claim that he misled you or lied to you. And again, I say he just because this is the conversation we're having based on your comment, but that goes both ways. There are a lot of women out here that are just as scandalous as a lot of men are. Look at her. She just stuck again, bobbing. It's all right, family. We're gonna we're gonna push through it. You back with us yet? No, don't worry about it. So we're gonna keep it moving. Let's see if I have any more because you're frozen. Let me know when you're back with us, sis.
I'm back. I
Okay.
can hear you again.
Did you have any more?
Yeah, I wanted to go into one that's kind of what Adele said about him having the expectations of he wants her to get him, but when she asks, "Can we talk?" he gets annoyed.
Yeah.
How is she going to get you? It can't be by osmosis. She has to get you by having conversations and you communicating with each other. And if y'all are not communicating, even when it's uncomfortable, then you're not going to get each other.
And I don't know, man. I got to be careful. I got to navigate this one kind of carefully, but I don't hear too many men saying things like my wife just doesn't get me. I As a matter of fact, I don't know that I've ever heard that. Um I think women tend to typically understand us better than we understand them. I don't know. That's my 2 cents. I think that most of the time, because I think my wife understood me long before I understood her. And I think that's probably generally true. What do you think, James, Derek? You think women tend to understand? First, let me ask you: Do you know any brothers who thinks that their wives just don't understand them? Maybe I'm overlooking that, but I haven't heard that yet.
I've had clients to say that. And again, what I was thinking when you said that earlier, the first thing I thought about is that you've been married for a length of time. So typically the people that you will be around to have those conversations with besides clients would be people who've been also married for a long time. Am I
No,
correct? No?
no. I mean, I've dealt with all. I mean, man, I'm counseling a newlywed couple now, and one that's in premarital counseling. And my experience has across the board been that the women understand the men more. Now, I do know that women get annoyed sometimes because men don't want to talk as much. So I get that part. But typically, it's been my experience that women have a greater understanding of the man than the men do of the women. I don't know. But again, that don't make me right. I mean,
No, I mean, no. It's
they've been so.
So James says, I have a question. What do you do when those expectations are met and it's still not enough?
You want that one, or you want me to get it?
We can both, because I got a couple of things to say.
Okay, go ahead. You go first.
One of the things is that we have to, and that goes into one of the things that I was going to say about men want to show a woman in 100 different ways how he loves her, except the 2 ways that she asked him to. So that simply means that a lot of times men believe that they're doing enough when all of these extra things that he's doing is a whole bunch. Yes, but she's not. She's asking you just for this 2 things, and you're ignoring these 2 things because you feel like you're doing all of this. So
Yeah.
if you just stop and listen, sometimes you may find that all of the stuff that you've been doing, you might have been exerting some energy that you didn't need to exert.
Yeah.
But you just go over here and ask. Because sometimes we feel like because we're grown or we've been in a relationship for a long time that we don't have to ask our partner, baby, is everything good? Are we checking in? Let's check in to see how we doing. I know we've been together for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, whatever, but are we good? Is there anything that I need to do that I'm not doing at this present time? And people don't do that. They take their cars to get oil changes and checkups. They take their bodies to the doctors. They take their children to the dentist. But how many times do you do mental, emotional, spiritual, physical checkups literally with your partner?
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I like that. And that's really along the lines that I was going to go. So I'll just add to it with this idea. I remember watching one of the episodes of The Red Table with Will and Jada, and they are by far not my ideal couple or my idea of a, you know, relationship goals, hashtag relationship goals. But
Right.
she was saying one time that Will had bought all these things. He bought the house and he bought all of these different things that he wanted her to have. and he expected her to be happy about that stuff and appreciative of those things. And she said, I was appreciative of those things, but you weren't doing that for me. You were doing that for you. Because she was saying that she didn't want any of this. I mean, it was nice that you did it. Thank you for thinking about me, but that's not what I was asking you for.
Right.
So to the point that you just made, we can spend all of this energy doing the very best we can, coming up with all these ideas of what it takes to love who it is that we're in a relationship with, except for what it is that they're asking us for.
Yes. Yeah.
And we could probably, if we just met what it is that they were asking us for, it wouldn't take nearly as much effort from us.
It wouldn't.
That's where
it would be so simple.
Yeah.
So simple. Stephanie says, say it.
Hey, Stephanie.
Hey, Stephanie. She said, hey, y'all. James says, in my opinion, when a man is saying his wife doesn't understand or get him, my question to him is, what are you showing her?
Yeah. Right.
Very true. Very true.
Sometimes it's just inconsistency in our behavior, saying one thing but doing something else. And the reason, one of the reasons that I think that is, sorry about that, y'all. My ears kind of stopped up. I just got out of the shower, but part of the reason that I think that men are easier to understand is because I think men are typically simpler than women are. We just don't have as many things going on up here. Like, we can be, y'all be thinking about the kids and the temperature in the house and, I still need to go grocery shopping. Y'all be thinking about all kind of stuff. And our minds just don't work like that. We are typically a lot more one track minded,
not a lot that complicated.
Yeah, we're just not, and it's not to say that we're any less intelligent than you guys are. We're a lot more singularly focused, I think, than women are. So.
And we take that for granted. Many women really believe that when you say you're not thinking about nothing, that they go, you can't possibly, because right. I'm thinking about 15 million things. How are you not really thinking about nothing? You like, I ain't thinking about nothing.
Right. We are not just hairy women.
Yeah. Right.
We're wired a little bit different.
Exactly. So, yeah.
Kesey has.
So we coming up on our.
Let me.
You got any more?
Yeah, she says people need
comments over there.
She says people need to be whole before they get into the relationship and establish boundaries that they do not break. Yeah, I can tell you didn't hear that, but I think the audience. That's all right. The audience heard it. It's good. Don't worry.
Yes, that's all right. Oh man, okay. Anyway, so but yeah, we coming up on our 7th. We got 7 more minutes up in here. You got anything else?
No, I think we. I was really looking to get some input from the audience because I know that there's no way we could cover everything. I know that there are a lot of, unrealistic expectations out here. But I will say this: one unrealistic expectation that a lot of couples have is that they can somehow get to a point in their relationship where they can put it on autopilot.
Yes.
And that the relationship, we've been together for 7 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years, and that, it should be smooth sailing from here on out. Well, you should be at that place where it's smooth sailing, yes. But it's not because you get to put it on autopilot. It's a continuous effort to maintain harmony, maintain balance. And the day you decide to put your relationship on autopilot is the day you surrender it over to those who are working, those outside forces that are working against your relationship. Yeah. So Les Brown has this quote where he says, he's talking about life, where he says, life is like a fight for territory. And the moment you stop fighting for what you want, what you don't want automatically begins to take over. And yeah. I think that your relationship is the same way. Your relationship is like a fight for territory. And in the moment you stop fighting for what you want, what you don't want automatically begins to take over.
Yeah. Very true. That goes to my last one that I want to say, that men want her to work. No, that's not it. It's the one about men expect the relationship to always go without drama when neither party has had a good example of what that looks like. And when she recommends getting help to know how that looks and feels, he declines.
Yeah. Wow.
So you can't expect it to be perfect. And if you don't know how that works, get help. Reach out, get a coach, get a therapist, get somebody that is equipped and not just gonna tell you, girl, leave her, leave him, or man, I wouldn't put up with that. No, get somebody that's gonna be non-biased, that's gonna be able to be equipped to be able to help you to be able to get through some of these things that you are challenged with, because we're not islands unto ourselves. We can't think that we're gonna have all the answers. And sometimes it takes a third eye or a third set of eyes to get to the crunk of the matter.
Yep. And a third ear.
And right, absolutely.
To your point, so many of us, and I think Black people especially, with our single parenthood rates, single parent home rates, divorce rates, we tend to be at the bottom of each of these categories. And so we, most of us, or way more of us than other groups, grew up without seeing healthy examples of a relationship. Yeah. And so it's imperative. Like it's the scenario where we're the ones who need the most help, but we're the least likely to pursue that help.
Yeah.
And so it's in that faith that I extend to you guys, man. If you need any help whatsoever, if you feel like we could be beneficial in some way or another, it doesn't matter which one of us you pick. You can pick her, you can pick me, you can pick both of us. It doesn't matter. But you should not be under the sound of our voice and allow your relationship to fail when you have access to us. Brother James Gifford has a couple comments. He says, he has one above that. He says, in my opinion, when a man is saying his wife doesn't understand, okay, I read that one already. And then after that, he says, this is a phenomenal show. Both of you are great teachers. Thank you, sir.
Very much. Thank you, sir.
Much appreciated.
Thank you so much. That's because we love what we do. We love helping people. We want people to have healthy relationships. And again, for those who don't know, y'all, we're on two ends of the spectrum here. Vaun has been in his marriage for quite a long time, and I have some challenges in that area that I have overcome because I've sought out coaching, I've sought out therapy, I've sought out seeking to find out what it is I needed to do within myself to make sure that when I do get into the next relationship, the one that's final, then I don't have to worry about all the challenges that I've gone through before because I've eradicated those things. But it took me to step outside of myself and say, hey, I can't do this by myself. Apparently, what I've been doing wasn't working out, right? And that's why I always ask my clients, if you think that you've been doing this and you've been doing so well at it, look over your life and tell me, how's that working out?
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not working out, reach out to Vaun or myself, or you want us together and to tag team with you because you feel like you have that masculine and that feminine energy with the both of you and your spouse. Get us together. Do not sit, like he said, under the sound of our voices and not get some help.
Yep, agreed.
So this has been great, even though I have been having I have been having technical difficulties because I got one over here in the ear and it's delayed. But it sounds like it was going pretty smooth because I didn't hear much of the pausing as I hear here.
It was good enough. We got it.
So we love y'all for real. Make sure that you all are seeing, go over to our YouTube page and our IG page. Follow us there. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page and hit that bell so that you can get any of the new videos that we're going to be uploading. And don't forget to check out our sponsor at www.melanatedmatch.com. They have a Facebook page as well. Make sure that you are following that too.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. We love y'all for real.
Love y'all, fam.
Bye.